Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to talk about possibly the best UDFA signing, probably the guy who was projected the highest out of any of the UDFAs, ended up going to the Kansas City Chiefs, and that's Justyn Ross, former Clemson wide receiver. Maybe Carson Strong is in that conversation too, but regardless, Ross is a very talented player and fell out of the draft due to some mainly health concerns, but we're going to look at his tape to see if there's any more we can pick up for why he fell and what we can expect from him at the NFL level. And before we do so, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you enjoy, comment your thoughts down below, and also suggest more prospects I should feature, as we have a ton of these out and on the way. So we'd love to know more guys you want to see get a little bit of the spotlight. But without any further ado, let's get into the tape. So first off, as you can see on the field, this is not a very recent game. This is the 2019 National Championship after the 2018 season. So for reference, this is freshman Trevor Lawrence. There's T. Higgins up there. And then there's Justyn Ross down at the bottom of the field. This is his true freshman year too, I believe. And he had a really good game this game. Clemson blows Alabama out of the water at the end. And we're going to look at a lot of plays from here. And there's Pat Surtain guarding him right here. So this is our first play where he's giving him a pretty good cushion. And ISO over here to the to the field's boundary side, and he is gonna make a good catch on this out route. Solid route, just good job moving forward, getting some quick yards here early in the national championship, getting the jitters out. Just like that route. There was a penalty, but we're not gonna talk about that. So now here is later they've driven down the field. There's Justyn Ross here in kind of his big slot role. As he's 6'4", like 205. And even though injury problems, whatever, this is the talent right here, and you can see he's a big guy. They're going to be running a little bit of kind of outside zone like sweep to Travis Etienne. You can see Justyn Ross locked up there, gets a good block, just enough for Travis Etienne to get to the next level and get into the end zone. Again, not a crazy play, but we're showing he can block too. He definitely has that ability. Now here's our third play, and this is going to be just a really good route. And then, great timing on the break. This is more of a Trevor Lawrence, honestly, highlight, as we're kind of building up to some of the crazy plays he makes later. But, I like that. And he's going to drop it, though. So that's a rough one. I think Surtain got a hand in there, though. And, Patrick Surtain went top 10 in, I guess, this 2019 draft. So, no joke having him guarding you. Play, you'd like to be a catch. But, again, it could have been a drop. It's hard to tell from both of these angles. But a play that it was a good route, but I'd like to see him come down with that ball. But now here is another great rep, as we're going to see him there at the bottom of the screen, kind of in that slot. And this is going to be just a great, really, really good move. And this is going to be, we'll just watch it in full speed first to really get a gauge of it. Again, Trevor Lawrence is making some great plays this game. I mean, this is kind of the one that put him on the map. And, led to him being the first overall pick. But I love this move to, get this first down, move the chains. And, we're not going to go off at that quickly, as, this is against Xavier McKinney. So who, if is a giant safety who's really good. And the next rep is going to be against him as well. But love this movement with his feet that we're going to see. This out, he's bending this in at this point like it's going to be a crossing route into this, holding the zone. So McKinney's seeing that, and then great step, and then establishing him on the vertical, and then flattening this out as McKinney's just almost lost here, and Ross will pick up pretty easy first down after a great route. Now here against McKinney yet again here in the slot. This is just a great move on the break, and they're going to move the chains yet again. This time he's doing it inside, establishes himself, gets behind him, makes him flip his hips around, as again, this is a great route. McKinney has inside leverage, and he's still going to beat him inside because of that, this big, long stride that's just going to set him up to chop his feet and get that. Just love that rep, and really, really impressed me. Again, going against a NFL, starting safety, probably an above average starting safety in the slot, who's really talented, and that's a great catch as well. Now, here we're getting into what I consider one of the two iconic Justyn Ross plays. The second one we'll touch on is a little more for me, but this is a big play he's going to get. He's just going to dust this corner on this route. You're going to see a great release, hand fights with him. He slips. I don't think Justyn Ross broke his ankles or anything to make him fall down. Trevor Lawrence under pressure as he's getting a hit, chunks this up to a wide open Justyn Ross. He catches it. This safety's going to slip as well, and then he's going to just barrel down into the end zone in the national championship for a huge, huge touchdown. This kind of opened up the door for Clemson to go and win the whole thing. And You can tell he doesn't have crazy long speed on this rep, but it's good enough. He ran, I think he was like, he's kind of like a 4.6 kind of guy, but he moves well enough, again, and nothing to be concerned about. You can see this guy making good time against him, but I'd like to see him a little faster, but that's just not what he does. He's not really a deep threat. That's just kind of one that happened. Now here, this is a play that I want to talk a lot about. So this is going to, this looks like a too high shell here at the top, and it's actually going to be a cover one. So Trevor Lawrence he thinks this is going to be a blitz, and he's going to be right, but this is a great play. We're going to stop it a little early, and you can see Trevor Lawrence IDing right here. Safety is rolling down. Blitz is coming. He identifies Justyn Ross one-on-one with good leverage right here. Sees him on the sideline through pressure. You can tell, he was looking his way for this entire play. So you can tell, even though they have T. Higgins and Amari Rodgers, who were 2nd and 3rd round picks respectively, he's looking for Justyn Ross here. Goes up and is going to make an incredible circus catch with like one hand bobbling on the sideline. Again, we'll look at it from this angle, and you can just tell this is a great read from Trevor Lawrence. IDing, the safety moves down, boom, his eyes are straight to Justyn Ross, and he's going to make a great catch over this corner for another huge play again in the national championship game. So this is going to be another great example of, I feel like, his ability to position well on fades. He really is good at stacking, and I think this is Josh Jobe. This could be freshman Josh Jobe. I'm not sure, who ended up going undrafted, but it was still a good player at Alabama. He's just going to use a great release. Trevor Lawrence, again, looking his way the whole time. It's a great back shoulder ball, and he's able to go up. It is knocked out. This is great defense from Jobe here as he poked that ball out at the very end. But, this is just, a really good play. Makes about 90% of that catch before it being knocked out. But this is really what he does, and I think he can be very effective at that. Again, that one was a great defensive play, but still, I like the moves leading up to it. And now, here is our quintessential, this is the Justyn Ross play for me. This is kind of what put him on the map in my eyes, as my parents went to Clemson. I've been kind of a Clemson fan. We haven't really kept up with them too much, but they're in the national championship. I'm rooting for them, and I'm like, who is this guy? So my immediate reaction was, he is that guy, pretty much. And you're going to see what he can do with just a ridiculous catch here on the boundary. And so we'll pause it right here. He gets a really good release, and he moves inside, gets back outside, and just a great amount of separation. We're going to go back. This is this is a post corner, or kind of a slant. He's going to break inside, he's going to go vertical, and then he's going to break back outside. I can imagine it kind of in Madden. He's going here, here, and then here. But again, let's look at this release and this route again, as this is just really good positioning. And he's going to be there. He's got to step this corners out, and then he's going to make just a ridiculous one-handed catch. It's hard to tell, it's hard to see, but he's going to catch this one hand, there's the ball. He catches this one-handed across his body, fading the other way, and he gets a foot in, maybe 2 feet in, honestly, but I remember seeing this and being like, wow, that is one of the best catches I've ever seen. As he, just again, ridiculous. Hopefully, neither of these angles is great, but if you saw it live, you probably remember it. And again, we're going to watch this kind of in a little slow-mo, try to get the frame. Look at that. He catches this ball with one hand and takes it on the sideline through contact. Ridiculous catch. Again, he can be that guy. So let's wrap it up. Justyn Ross, this kind of talent, I know he had the injuries, and this is the best game of his career. He didn't get back to this level, very often, but this potential is not a guy that should go undrafted, in my opinion. So the Chiefs, my Chiefs, Clemson to Chiefs connection. We got Cornell Powell last year, who I think is just a practice squad guy. I had really high expectations for him, but this team could be really a lot better with him. Justyn Ross is a big body that they need, and I think he could do it. I think he could be one of those undrafted free agents that just surpasses all expectations. He has pretty high expectations as far as UDFAs go, because he was projected by some people in the 3rd round, which I think was crazy, but I think he's about a 5th round prospect. So I think he has so much potential. I think this game really proves that, and some of the plays that he made in this game are legendary for me, as this national championship was just so much fun to watch, as somebody who wanted Alabama to lose, especially. So that's going to wrap it up for today. Let me know what you think of Justyn Ross. I think he's going to end up being a contributor, maybe a starter for Kansas City in the next couple years. And let me know some other prospects I should feature down below. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, all that if you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.